afford to go to college, too bad. Lift yourself up by your own bootstraps, you're on your own. It's an agenda that turned a record surplus into a record deficit.
Yes, it did.
An agenda that produced slower job growth than we've had this past year. An agenda that let Wall Street run wild at the expense of folks right here on Main Street. An agenda that nearly destroyed the economy. Do they think that we have forgotten?
No!
I mean, it's not like we didn't try what they're peddling. We tried it for 8 years. It didn't work. And if they take over Congress, the other side has already promised to roll back health reform so that insurance companies can go back to denying you coverage when you get sick. They want to roll back Wall Street reform so that taxpayers can be on the hook for the next bailout. They want to let credit card companies hit you with hidden fees or penalties. They want to cut education by 20% to help pay for a $700 billion tax break for the wealthiest 2% of Americans. Folks who don't need it. Look, this is the same theory they have been peddling for years. And Ohio, it is up to you to tell them we do not want what they are selling. We've been there before and we are not going back. I've been explaining to people around the country. It's as if they drove America's car into the ditch. They drove it into the ditch, and it was a big ditch. And so I came along, and Ted Strickland came along, and we put on our boots, and we went down into the ditch. And it was hot down there, and it was muddy. There were bugs. But we said that's okay. Even though we didn't drive it into the ditch, it's still our responsibility to get that car out of the ditch. And so we pushed, and we pushed, and every once in a while we'd look up, and up on the road you'd see the Republicans standing there, fanning themselves, sipping on a Slurpee, having a latte. And we'd say, hey, why don't you come down and help push a little bit? We need some help down here. And they'd say, no, that's all right. They said, but you need to push harder. You're not pushing the right way. And we just kept on pushing. We kept on pushing. Finally, we get this car up on level ground. It's pointing in the right direction. We're ready to move America forward. But the next thing we know, we get this tap on our shoulder, and we look back, and who is it? It's the Republicans. And they say, we want the keys back. You can't have the keys back. You don't know how to drive. Now, if you want, you can roll with us. But you got to be in the back seat.
So good. I know. It's really directed.
I don't know if you've noticed, if you want to take your car forward, you got to put it in what? In D. If you want to go backwards, it goes what? We don't want to go backwards. We're moving America forward. Because I love you back. Now, let's